Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today I wanted to talk to you briefly about the Oscar Pistorius case. For those of you who aren't aware, it's the South African champion sprint runner who earlier this year in February shot dead his girlfriend Reeva Steenkamp. Now, it's just been announced by the judge that the verdict date is going to be none other than September 11, 2014. Could this be a randomly selected date? Quite possibly. But the last 6 months, there's been an absolute media circus around this event. I'm not talking about 9/11, I'm talking about the Oscar Pistorius case. We've seen all sorts of theories come up. We've seen it on the front page, we've seen it lead story on the news. And you can be rest assured that come September 11, 2014, this is going to be the most talked about story in the news. No matter what the verdict is, whether they find him guilty or not, it's going to be the story. They will cover September 11, 2001 because they want to keep us, the public still scared of what happened that day. I can guarantee it's going to be something like this. World leaders today remember September 11, blah, blah, blah. Terrorism, keep scared, blah, blah, blah. Here's some images of Al-Qaeda that we now openly fund, blah, blah, blah. We're going to take away your rights and increase global spying to keep you safe. Be something along those lines. Now, with all the things that have gone on in the media with this, like the dragging out of it, they've been trying to use it to cover up other events that have been going on, whether it's what's been going on in Ukraine, the lies surrounding MH17, which, check out our other video that we did. We still haven't seen the air traffic control tapes from Ukraine being released, which will prove who redirected that plane, which will basically tell us what happened that day. That's still not getting released. We've got things going on in Israel and Palestine. We've got the Middle East heating up. We've got the economy worldwide just going bonkers at the moment. Financial market rigging being exposed. The NSA spying on everyone illegally. We've got political scandal after political scandal. We've got the elitist pedophile ring in the UK being exposed. But they've been trying to use this Oscar Pistorius case to kind of hide these events, or not just the Oscar Pistorius, but definitely the celebrity events, which we've seen in the past many times before. There is no doubt over the past few years there's been an accelerated awakening, or even the past few months, around September 11, especially with what's going on in the world. People are starting to question now what's actually going on. Like, it's getting a bit crazy. They're starting to rethink things. They're starting to see that things aren't quite what they seem anymore. We saw earlier this month, we saw C-SPAN have Richard Gage on from Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth, which is, 2,500 architects and engineers who break down what happened on September 11 with World Trade Center Building 7. Basically, if you haven't seen World Trade Center Building 7 going to freefall collapse, you really need to. 95% of Americans don't even know about it. It's the third building that went down that day. It's a massive skyscraper that went down, and it was left out of the original report. And then when they were forced to cover it, the story was there was office fires that brought it down. But have a look at the video. Office fires have never brought down a building ever in history, let alone bring down a building into freefall speed, which is impossible to take out, 100-odd columns all in the same time. Like, it's impossible. Doesn't mean it was an inside job or a false flag, which it seems it was, but it does mean that there is some sort of a cover-up going on. We even saw one of the senators earlier this month, or was it late last month, saying that there's some evidence that was left out of the original reporting, which would be mind-blowing once the public finds out. Now, you can check out this brilliant article that Jeff Berwick has done at The Dollar Vigilante, which outlines, this awakening which I'm talking about and what's been coming out in the news, but also talks about how they'll probably use this as an excuse to eventually go and attack Saudi Arabia, which, if you look into it, just briefly to touch on 9/11, there's clear Saudi intelligence involvement, clear Mossad involvement. You can watch this video here, which, there's lots more facts which cover it. Ryan Dawson has done a brilliant video on this called War by Way of Deception, which covers Israel's involvement in 9/11. But this video here, you can see the Israelis that were caught on 9/11 filming the event, basically being on Israeli TV and saying, we were sent to document the event. Now, that means they had foreknowledge. Doesn't mean they were involved, but they either had foreknowledge and they went to document the event, or they were part of it and went there to film it. So, but yeah, we'll leave it at that. with 9/11, and obviously, yeah, there was looks like there was some high levels of the US government involved. When I say government, I'm talking the people that run the government and the entities that control that. Now, rest assured, September 11, 2014, you are going to hear about this Oscar Pistorius case from the mainstream media from all angles. They're going to try to cover up the fact that the majority of people in the world do not believe the official story of 9/11. I mean, I don't know if it's the circles I roll with, but the majority of people I know do not believe the official story. I'd say 80 to 90% believe it was a false flag or an inside job. Either way, the official version given to us by the mainstream media and politicians does not add up. Now, whether this date for this Oscar Pistorius case was chosen or randomly selected, I don't know. But it definitely seems a bit odd that they've selected this date for such a big trial, which is, like I said, been a media circus. Time will tell, but we'll see where this goes. I'd like to know what your thoughts are. Please comment below. Please share this video if you found it informative, and a thumbs up if you liked it and you want to see more like this. Also, if you want to keep up to date with all the latest what's going on, visit us at the site on hangthebankers.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, or you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Also, a quick shout out to everyone who donates through our site. Your contributions is what keeps this media operation going. Thanks for watching.